Hi my gorgeous Sagittarians, how are you? This is Jill, welcome to Tarot by the Sea. Right, I've just done you a reading, realised the microphone wasn't plugged in, just for a bleeding change. The reading that I had was basically possibly dating back to something that happened in November. This is your reading from the 5th to the 11th of February. You could be with someone who could have fire in their chart, could have earth in their chart, okay? It could be that this person has cheated on you, or you have cheated on them, in fairness. And what it was basically saying was, you're at the point where it's like, when you got together with this person, they were always a bit of a player, okay? Or you were, depending on how this turned out. They were always a bit of a player. They kind of settled down, they're committed to you, or you're committed to them. And maybe they cheated again, or maybe they cheated on you for the first time, but they were always a bit of a player in the past. And you kind of knew that. You kind of knew it anyway. And you maybe this has come out, that they've cheated on you. And what it was saying was basically, you know, it's kind of take the time to decide whether you're willing to put up with the fact that this person's committed to you, but they're not always going to be faithful. And the kind of warning bit at the end of it, and I felt quite insulting saying this, was basically like, you need to make that decision quite quickly. If you're planning on kind of keeping the relationship together and you're quite happy to accept that this person's not always going to be faithful because there are other things in your relationship that make it worthwhile, then the kind of holding on and holding back from making a decision is going to adversely affect the relationship in itself, which I thought was really bloody insulting, because it's like, you should be, you know, if this person's cheated on you, you should be able to take as much time as you want to make a decision as to what you want to do. But it was saying it is going to cause complications, it's going to cause arguments, and those arguments in themselves are going to have a massive impact on the relationship. So if you want to keep the relationship together, then now's a good time to try and kind of make the decision as to what you want to do. Okay, so I'm so sorry about that, but that was the reading that I just got for you, and it was a very clear reading. Okay, so this is your reading again from the 5th to the 11th of February 2018. Maybe a different reading, maybe the same one. That was very specific. Have to do the marketing bit, yeah. Can you please like, share, subscribe and comment? If you want a personal reading, the details are in the bottom. I don't like doing that bit, but it's important. You know, this takes up a lot of my time, and I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm thinking, oh God, do I need to be spending my time doing other things? And I love doing this so much, and I don't want to stop. So I would ask you to do that if you don't mind. That would be amazing. Right, we have the 7 of Wands. We have cards that are sticking. We have the Queen of Swords that is sticking. Maybe the Queen of Swords is being stubborn. We have Death card. Oh, gosh. 6 of Swords is coming out a lot. What is going on? The 8 of Swords. 6 of Swords. 3 of Cups and 3 of Pentacles. This may be the other side of the reading that we just had. Hidden card. Started getting hidden cards last week in the Scorpio and Cancer readings, and it's things that either you don't know or the other person doesn't know. It's something that someone doesn't know. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the, yeah, okay. So we have Temperance on the bottom of the deck. I'm not going to talk about the cards until they're all out. I'm using the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, and I'm using the Fairy Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I'm also clarifying if I need to with the Tarot of Sexual Magic. I did in the last reading. By, I don't know who they're by, actually. It doesn't seem to say. I don't know who they're by. Looking on here. Laura Tone, Tuan. Artwork by Mauro De Luca. Right, the Magician has ended up in the wrong deck. Yeah, sounds like about it. Maybe the Magician's been... Yeah. I think the Magician might have been up to something. Okay, so you could be dealing with an Aquarius as well. You have the King of Spring. You have the Empress and you have the Ace of Autumn. Those two came out together in the last reading as well, I think. You have the Six of Autumn. You have the Queen of Autumn. You have the Three of Summer. You have the Three of Cups twice next to each other and the Three of Pentacles. You have the Dreamer. And why am I clarifying the Magician? Because he's not even a proper card. Okay. We have the Princess of Summer, which is the Page of Cups. A new relationship or emotional experience, invitations to social events, compassionate friends you can share your concern with. Princess of Summer is gentle, sensitive, kind and inexperienced. And we have Temperance. My sense of this is you could have two people. If this is relating back to the other reading, you could have two people. Okay, you could have this water sign who is sweet and innocent and all of those things. Yeah, gentle and sensitive and kind and inexperienced and naive and all that kind of stuff. And then you've got this fiery, or fire sign, probably female. I don't think she's meant to be fire sign. I think she's, I'm not sure what she is, but she looks fire sign to me. So if it's a third party relationship, maybe one person is kind of very calm and very sweet and the other one is just really fiery. Or maybe it's two aspects of one personality. And I'm not sure how that fits into your reading yet. I think it might be two people because we have this. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is a little bit complicated. Okay. Sorry, I'm so sorry. This is just a little bit complicated because there's two storylines going on with two different people. Okay. Right. Right, okay, right. There's two storylines with two different people. That's why it's complicated. Am I turning this over to? Yeah, juggling. Okay. There may have been a third-party relationship going on here, and there's two aspects to it. Okay, so maybe you were doing this. It's like you have the Magician, so you have everything that you need to manifest, but you have the illusion of being trapped. Okay. This is 15. What's the 15 card? It's not the Herman. I can't remember. The illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. Okay. I think the Magician's got a bit of an ego, actually. I think that is what's being said here. I genuinely think the Magician's got a bit of an ego. And I think he may like conflict because we have the 1 and the 5. okay, and then we have the 1. And 5 to me is that kind of conflict and change. And I think maybe they like the drama. Right, so there are 2 people. There is a fire sign or someone who is all fiery and passionate, okay? And there is this water sign who is sweet and gentle and all those kind of things, okay? Right. A new relationship or emotional experience, invitations to social events, compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. I wonder whether this person was a friend and it's turned into something else. Then we have this card, which is the 7 of Swords. And it says there is a better choice, not seeing things clearly and running away from the truth. Now the World cards are always a bit of a funny one. Okay, but there is a decision to be made. If you look, that lady is walking through. If you think of the 2 of Wands card, okay, where the guy is kind of, he's not quite at the crossroads yet with the 2 wands to make a decision. This person is actually there and she's holding the wands. This is time to make a decision, okay? Right at this point in time, this is time to make a decision. And it says a brilliant success, the freedom to go in any direction, the journey is now complete. So one way or the other, this is decision time, okay? And then we have the Queen of Winter, which is the Queen of Swords. It says strong, patient, self-sufficient and funny. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is a time to focus on your career. Unmarried or divorced individuals. So you know how that plays into your life, okay? I just have this Princess of Summer and those cards. It will vary between one person and another, okay? For some of you, you're running away from the truth. That this person, this Princess of Wands, Princess of Summer, isn't for you. For some of you, you realise that there is a better choice. For some of you, the decision that you make is a brilliant success and you have freedom to go in any direction. For some of you, you're ending it. And then we have the Queen of Winter. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Okay? So you have this. And maybe you're finding out that this sweet, innocent, gentle little thing, okay, is actually strong, patient, self-sufficient and funny. And the Queen of Swords will take your head off if you mess with her. She really will. She'll just have you. So it's just like, okay, maybe this person that you thought was naive and gullible and all those things actually will just cut you out because they're just like, no, absolutely not doing it. Or maybe you're cutting them out is the other option. But you're the one feeling trapped. So then on the other hand, if you're dealing with 2 people, you now have this fire sign person who is either feeling very lusty, okay, ooh, that's interesting, with the Page of Cups, who is the Princess of Summer in the other deck. Okay, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So what is it? Oh, maybe it's the same thing. So maybe this is just basically lust, because we have, oh, this person's not seeing things clearly. Oh my God, okay. So you had this new relationship. This person wasn't seeing what was going on. Either they're thinking it's a brilliant success, this relationship, or they're deciding to walk away. And I think they're deciding to walk away. Because for you, or for this fire sign person, you could be dealing with a Virgo as well, okay? But you have this fire sign person who's all about the lust, okay, who's been dealing with this Page of Cups, and actually if you look at that, the Page of Cups is looking away from the passion and the lust and the other person, okay? And it could be because you've been the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is all passion and fire, and he comes flying in, okay? He comes flying in and flying out with all his wandiness and passion and all that kind of stuff. It's very one night stand energy. It's very much that. And maybe this person is feeling stabbed in the back and they're just walking away from you. Okay. So however that resonates for you, this could be being done to you, or you could be doing this to this Page of Cups, this Princess of Summer. So this is kind of the story of what's happened, and that's where their head's at. That is where their head's at. Is that you have the Ten of Summer as well, and you have the King of Winter. You know, I said for some of you, it's like there is a better choice, and you had a brilliant success. For some of you, you're actually very emotionally fulfilled in this because you have the Ten of Summer, which is the Ten of Cups. And you have this King of Winter. So you have the King of Winter and the Queen of Winter. So this could be a soulmate. Get advice from someone professional, objective, unemotional relationships. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now's the time to focus on your career. I think for some of you, basically, this has all been going on. You could be dealing with another fire sign. Looking back at the other reading that I did, you could be dealing with another fire sign who's been cheating. But you know that they're their soulmate. And basically you're a strong couple regardless. And they may have been dealing with this Page of Summer. Okay. But I think possibly this Page of Summer, this younger kind of water sign, has cut them out. And for the other person, it was all just about possibly, potentially a Virgo or another fire sign. Potentially, it was all just about lust for them anyway. And that comes back to the reading that we had in the first place, where basically it was like your relationship's fine, it's committed and everything else. You have a good home life and all that kind of stuff. But this person's just a cheat. You know, they're just a player, and they're the kind of person who's going to cheat. Okay, right, we haven't even touched the other cards yet. We have the King of Spring, which is the King of Wands. This came up in your last reading, okay? The King of Wands was the hidden card in your last reading. And the King of Wands is basically like he's committed, but he can still be a player. And then we have the Seven of Wands. For some of you, you may be blocking this person. For some of you, this person may be blocking somebody else, okay? Or has been blocked by somebody else. Right, I'm doing it again. I'm going to clarify. I get to this point in reading sometimes where I just go, yeah, I'm going to have to start again because I don't actually, I'm not feeling the energy. And I don't know why that is. So I'm going to clarify and see what we get. And actually, it was the same place in the other card as well. You had, in that space, in the last reading, you had, what did you have? I can't remember. You had 3 major arcana there. The King of Wands again. I think you're just accepting that this person's just a player. And the Ace of Chalices. And the Ace of Swords. And they just chase it. They just chase it. They get an opportunity for love, or something that's emotionally fulfilling for them. They get an opportunity for sex, basically. And they're like dogs in heat. They just kind of like go off and do it. And it's just like, my God, seriously. And maybe it does hurt you because you have the Ten of Swords, but you also have the Three of Pentacles, so you're working on it, you know. You're working on it. Maybe you're trying to work through it. But you're trapped in your head. Okay. And it's really interesting because you have the Ace of Chalices and you have the Ace of Swords, and they were the two cards that came up in the Sexual Tarot deck in your last reading as well. And it was basically saying that you have emotional fulfillment, you have the potential there for long-term stability and security and all that kind of stuff. You've got financial abundance, and you've got kind of emotional oh my goodness, emotional kind of security in that sense. You're emotionally fulfilled within it. It's just this person just can't keep it in his pants. Do you know what I mean? And again, you have this. You're trapped in your head because you do have this. You have this Ace of Autumn, which is the Ace of Pentacles. And it says, a windfall of money, advice or assistance from others, a very successful project, a happy change in your career. But I think in this case, it's basically saying, look, you have this already. And you are the Empress, you are the mother, you are the nurturer. You may actually be pregnant as well. Or perhaps this other person's pregnant. Okay. And he's just the King of Wands, and you're kind of looking and you're going, oh God, not again. But you're very dignified and poised and everything else about it. And the Empress is a 3. And you may find out about this. You may find out for some of you that this person's pregnant. Because if you look, there's that little baby in there. But I think you know about this. I don't think this is any massive surprise to you. Now this is where I think the two stories kind of vary, is because with this one it's like 6 of Swords, where she's just walking away. She's just like, I've had enough. I've had enough. You have done this. You have hurt me so many times. You've shoved so many swords through my heart. And I'm just taking my lessons and I'm taking direct action. And I think this is you, because I'm being drawn to this kind of like thing that she's using to move the boat as a wand. And it could be that things are fully illuminated now about this water sign, who may also have air in their chart. Okay. And you're just kind of going, no, do you know what? No. And you have the 6 of Autumn. It says, the good you do comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of money, borrowing wisely or repaying a debt. Perhaps this is a karmic cycle. I hate saying that. And perhaps you have ended a karmic cycle with this person and you're just moving away now because you've just had enough. For some of you, you're focusing on work while this person's just out partying. Or you're focusing on your future even. You know, let those other two people go, bugger them. It's like you're just focusing on your future while they're out partying, doing all this stupid stuff. But you know that you're going to have pentacles and they're just going to end up with like all this watery nonsense, and he's just going to do it to somebody else. This is always going to be the way that it's going to be. And you're being the Queen of Autumn. Or maybe this other person's being the Queen of Autumn. Be practical with respect to how you proceed, the ability to make everything more beautiful, meeting someone who can make your dreams come true. And the Queen of Autumn is generous, stylish, gracious and practical. So maybe you have met someone else. Maybe you've met someone else. Maybe this water sign is really, really important to you. And you have the 3 of Summer. Maybe you've been blocked by this person at some point, and now you're not. It says, news worth celebrating, announcements such as weddings, graduations or birth, friends you cherish. I'm wondering whether you've met someone else. And for some of you, you are the fire sign, okay, who has been philandering. I'm sorry, but for some of you, you are. And I'm not going to judge you for it, because we do meet people outside of, you know, relationships who are the person that we're supposed to be with, you know, or we think they're the person that we're supposed to be with. And that happens, you know. And maybe you are focusing on the future. Maybe you're now focused on this person. Maybe this person, this water sign person, has also got earth in their chart. And maybe they're pregnant. This guy's coming in with messages of something that's emotionally fulfilling, okay? And it says, news worth celebrating, announcements such as births, graduations, or weddings, friends you cherish. This person's coming in with this 3 of summer, with this news. Now, it may cause arguments. And it's news worth celebrating, but in some situations, weddings or births or things like that might be very, very difficult to hear, and it may cause arguments. But I think for some of you, you're just ready to move on anyway and begin your true thing. And you have the illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. I think that's where you were. And I think this is where you are now. You are the dreamer. You're ready to move forward, and you're the magician, or somebody else is. That didn't feel like it flowed particularly well, but I think the kind of idea of it came across. It's a challenging one. It is a challenging one, I think. Sometimes if we're transitioning between one relationship and another, there is a period of crossover. But if you know you're supposed to be with someone, then you need to be with them. And if you know you're not supposed to be with someone, then you need to not be with them. And I'm a great believer, I'm sorry, but I am a great believer in kind of following your path. And I don't believe that you get stuck in things. I believe you work on things, and if it doesn't work and it's still making you unhappy, then you need to take those steps forward to move on. And yes, it can be an incredibly difficult thing to do, but I think it is important to do that, because we all have our path to travel, and sometimes it's not an easy path, and sometimes what we didn't have is the Emperor, but the Emperor is basically the guy who is in charge of everything. And sometimes he has to make decisions which are really hard decisions to make, because in the longer term, they're for everyone's higher good, you know. And I don't know why I got that. Because we have the Empress. And this Knight of Wands may well be the Emperor. And that may be the situation. I think this Knight of Wands person, who is the King of Wands, has never been particularly faithful in the first place. And I think for some of you, if that's not you, then it's better. If you're the person who's being cheated on, then you need to walk away, possibly. For some of you, that's a decision that you're making. For others, if you're choosing to stay. But if you're choosing to walk away, I think it's basically saying that that's your choice. Because the people who were staying got the major arcana cards. And for those people, that's divinely guided. That's they're kind of being pushed into that. But that's not going to resonate with everyone, because you have different other things in your chart. So there are two groups of people here, and some are kind of being pushed by the universe down one direction, and for some of you, it's like you have the choice as to whether to kind of stay or go. And it depends on what's in the rest of your chart. If you're the Queen of Pentacles, I think you will probably go, funnily enough. Or the Queen of Swords. So if you've got air or earth in your chart, or both, I think you'll probably go. I don't know. It's down to you. It's down to free will at this point. For you guys. For the other guys, it's kind of like divinely guided that they're going to end up staying, because it's part of it's part of a lesson. It's part of a lesson, though I don't know what that lesson is. Can I have some cards for the people who stay, please? Ooh, hidden things. I've just been looking out the window because it's directly opposite me and I can't actually see right now. I can't see. Ace of Wands. Oh my god. Knave of Swords. The people that stay, please. Oh, I'm amazing fool. Okay, that's interesting. You've got two hidden things and you've got two things that are out in the open. Right, let's have a look at the deck. I genuinely can't see right now. Right, we have the Ace of Wands. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a real challenge. Right, Union, the magic of the statues in the fire. Abandon the surrender of oneself. One loses his own likeness to enter into something much greater. So for those that are staying, maybe you're kind of giving up those kind of beliefs about fidelity and all that kind of stuff because you think the relationship is worth it. Whether that's true or not is entirely down to you. Right, we have the Knave of Swords. Enemies of the couple are both inside and outside of it. They should look at each other. Vigilance does not distract from pleasure, and pleasure does not distract from vigilance. I think this is the thing. I think the relationship in itself is good enough, but you're always going to have these outside influences that are affecting it. And we have the Emperor. We were just talking about the Emperor, wasn't I? Right, the Emperor. Virility, the power of the stones. To exercise the power entrusted to you, you must know how to dominate yourself. Maybe this guy needs to learn to keep it covered and where it should be. Okay? Maybe for some of you that's kind of referring to you and saying that you need to kind of... Maybe it's the hardest thing in the world to kind of accept that you're going to be in a relationship with someone who's going to cheat on you. But in the bigger picture, it's worth it. But it's still really, really challenging for you. And maybe that's why you're going to need to learn to dominate yourself, if that makes sense. Four of Swords. These are the two hidden things. I can barely see. Oh my god. Four of Swords. The magic of black pepper. Excitement allows you to overcome a lack of affection. However, if you should continue, you will have to seek forgiveness and not punish yourself excessively for your errors. Yep. Okay, if this is you doing this to somebody else, maybe you need to punish yourself a little bit, guys. Seriously. It's a little bit unfair. And Knave of Chalices. And it might just be that you're not getting the affection at home. Knave of Chalices. Doubts are slinking along in the distance. You may find a way to communicate and meet in spite of considerable distance. Oh, guys. Guys. So maybe this is still ongoing. But I don't know whether it will be, because I think this other person is going to walk away. If it's a third-party relationship and it involves the Queen of Pentacles, I don't know. No, if it's all fiery passion, I think you guys are still carrying on with it, possibly. No, because you got the Seven of Swords, didn't you? You got the Seven of Swords. Sorry, Ten of Swords. But that could be to do with if your partner finds out. And it might be them feeling stabbed in the back. Yeah, it's a challenging one, my loves. I don't envy you it. I hope you're not on the receiving end of someone behaving like that. But then you just have to make a decision as to what you're going to do. Anyway, excuse me. Didn't sleep very well last night. I will love you and leave you. Very, very best of luck to you. Hope it all works out. And I will speak to you next week. Okay, lots of love. Take care.